Hey, dirty Skittles! It's finally it's
Hey.
great. It's great to actually see what you look like after hearing you for like 3 months.
Yeah, I need to get myself like a Mexican wrestling mask. That way I could just wear it anytime we have a guest.
I hear you're a Georgia girl now.
I am. I am actually reporting from the basement in Marietta, Georgia.
Oh, I'm in the city of Decatur.
Nice. Oh, I love your wall. Oh, Marilyn. No, that's not
No,
Marilyn. That's
it's
Madonna.
Madonna.
Who's behind you?
It's a very gay
Oh,
office
I love it.
because I'm a huge Madonna fan.
Love, love, love.
because he's super gay.
Listen, G Rex.
Are you ready? One.
No,
two.
our
Oh.
countdown, bro.
Okay. 1.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, sorry.
Bro, has it been that long? Okay.
I'm on sabbatical, man. Don't give me shit. All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Shit That Goes On in Our Heads. We are season 2, episode 9, and today we have a very special guest, Broadway. Hey, Broadway, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, everybody. I'm Broadway. I am one of G Rex's longtime ex coworkers. Live in Georgia. Been all around. Love theater. Love everything. And probably one of the gayest people that G Rex knows.
I don't know. I'm pretty gay myself, but you stand out because you're tall.
Because I'm tall, yeah. Your 4'10"ness and my 6'4"ness is a very interesting thing when we're standing next to each other, with cocktails, preferably.
She is tiny.
You know what? But for my tininess, my heart makes up for a lot of that tininess. So it's all good.
Aww.
It does, but you're still my pocket gay.
Aww. That's sweet and endearing.
every now and then I pop out of the pocket and wave.
You're like Polly Pocket, but a little different.
The hell is Polly Pocket?
You don't know what Polly Pocket is?
I don't have any kids. Why would I know what Polly
because
Pocket
like growing
is?
up, you never, well, maybe you didn't. Polly Pocket was like a little tiny, it looked like a wallet and you can open it up and there was this little tiny doll. Her name was Polly and she fit in your pocket. And then that little wallet that would open up could be like an ice cream shop or a hair salon or a castle. And you could play with it.
Dirty Skittles. She's a lesbian. She played with hammers and nails and stuff like that. Let's get real. Her Home Depot kit was what she played with. I know Polly Pocket, even though I'm near G Rex's age group, but I do have kids around, not my own.
I loved Polly Pocket. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna find you a Polly Pocket with a gay flag. Okay,
Do it.
I don't think they exist.
I mean, we can make one. Ooh, merch.
It's on Etsy somewhere.
Yeah. I love that.
This is why I can't drink with you guys.
I know. I was going to let you finish before making another joke.
So, Broadway, tell us a little bit about like your life and kind of like coming out, and I'll tell you guys my coming out story. It's crazy.
So I have a weird coming out story is that I never did. Do you guys know what the term platinum gay is?
No.
No.
Have you really never heard platinum gay? Okay, so platinum gay, that means you've never been around it. And by it, I mean female lady parts.
Oh,
I was actually cesarean born.
nice.
The only time I've ever kissed a girl was doing stage work in theater. I remember this in the early 70s, around 75, 76, when Wonder Woman was on TV. I used to pretend to be her in the pool. Like I would spin around and take off my clothes and try to change into Wonder Woman's outfit. Like I never had that whole, coming out experience. I never experienced that. I had a boyfriend in the late 80s, early 90s in high school, dated around, stuff like that. But I never really came out. It was always me, and everybody always knew. It was interesting because I was 6 foot tall by the time I was up about 10, 11.
Wow.
So it was always like, are you playing basketball, this? And I'm like, no, I'm going to jeter and do some Broadway musicals. Like, it was never that. So yeah, for me, it was, I was very fortunate. My parents were much older when they had me, almost 40, which back then, being born in 73, that was like very uncommon, very different. I liken them to be Cuban hippies who were raised Victorian. My mom's never worn jeans. My mom's never pumped gas in her car, type of thing.
Wow.
But my parents were always about their kids and never had, any question, any inkling, any concerns. It was always like, you do you and be safe, get good grades, do what you got to do and just don't be a dick, pretty much.
I love
So
that.
yeah, for me, coming out was like, it never really happened.
Wow. That's pretty cool though. You were safe. You felt good. You could just be you.
Yeah, I was very fortunate growing up I grew up in Miami, born in Miami Beach, raised in a suburb of Miami called Hialeah. Shout out to Hialeah.
Mm.
And, again, I was in the theater world and music world my entire life. So I kind of had that safe space. I had some great teachers. I had a lot of gay teachers, which was interesting because at the time kind of understood they were gay, but didn't know. I had a lot of lesbian teachers specifically, music, art teachers, people that I gravitated towards because they were just kind of like cool and artsy fartsy. So it was kind of fun.
I love that. So you did plays in high school?
Mostly musicals. Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly
Was there
musicals.
one that like transformed who you would be one day? Like, did something make such an impact that you played?
Stephen Son- everything Stephen Sondheim. The first time I heard anything by Stephen Sondheim, I want to say the first one I ever heard was Sweeney Todd, which is the darkest, bloodiest, goriest musical out there. It was me. I got it. The whole lyricism, the whole storytelling, the whole, pitter patter, fuck you type stuff.
Oh, I
Everything
love
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Nice. What about you, G-Rex? Any musicals for you?
Well, now that we live in upstate New York, I should probably be going into the city a little bit more often. There were two that I wanted to see and didn't get to see. I wanted to see Pinky Boots, but I can see that online now. And Wicked.
Love. Love. When I was little, I would sneak out of my bedroom at night, and there were two things I would watch. It was either old black and white movies, like while my parents were asleep, like I would just sit there with my ear on the speaker and watch it, or it was like Broadway musicals or plays or anything. That was what I did. Nothing fun. Like I didn't get into trouble other than sneaking out and watching old movies and plays.
Yeah, I missed the pre-pandemic life. I was living in New York when the pandemic hit. Actually living on 54th Street next to Studio 54, so I was in the middle of the theater district. My husband and I would see, God, 3 to 4 shows a week. Like we were going to everything. There's a reading of this at this small theater in the middle of Soho, and it's like at 2 a.m. But you've got to get there and you've got to bring a can of like red beans to get in the door. We would be there watching it. Like it was just so much fun and so much fun traveling around to see all the shows. It's interesting. I can't get into fantasy. Don't give me Harry Potter. I know I'm going to get some shit for this. Don't give me any of that Twilight crap. But I can totally believe that people will all of a sudden start singing and dancing in 8-part harmony and full, like choreography at the drop of a hat. Like it just happens. But I can't get into fantasy. Don't give me, witchcraft and all that crazy stuff from
Damn.
the.
I'm one of the Harry Potter people and Twilight people. Like I keep trying to get my son to get into Harry Potter too, because I just want to have a Harry Potter party. That's it. Like I'm like, if I can get him into it one birthday, I'm going to decorate the house like Harry Potter, but no such luck.
I think we're gonna have to get Bizzle to do that for your birthday.
Are you listening?
Oh,
You listening,
yeah.
Bizzle? Make everybody dress up, and I'm the only one having the time of my life. I love that. So yeah, so you did musicals in high school, which is pretty cool. Did you carry on into doing it after school, after high school?
Yeah, I did it professionally. I went to school for it, musical theater and jazz voice. Kind of gave it up at one point because I was like, I wanted to get on the creative side where the performance side I think is creative, but you're doing other people's work. I wanted to get on the casting side of all places. Like I had visions of wanting to like, ooh, you're a perfect person to play Elphaba. You're a perfect person to play Jean Valjean. I wanted that side of the house. So I took some time off. I traveled a bit. and then ended up in because I do speak Spanish, English, and French. I ended up with
Wow.
Cigna Healthcare, working as a kind of presenter. I would go to all of their different facilities to present benefits to all these different clients, and it was like benefit fairs and things like that. So it was like acting, but not really.
Yeah.
And it was making much more money than I was making acting. So I kind of got bitten to that. I got pulled into being asked to move to Lawrenceville, Kansas, which, if you know me and know that I've never lived in a country, I've always lived in a city. I've never lived anywhere in the suburbs, nothing like that. I was like, hell no. And then a friend of mine was at a recruiting firm and brought me on. And I was like, oh my God, this is a perfect kind of segue into casting, recruiting, learning all about that and all the rules. Little by little, I learned all that. I got into payroll because I'm a math nerd. Don't ask me why. Music and math are very close. I went to a school that was very music and math forward. And from there, I got recruited by the company we all have worked for at some point, because of my recruiting background and my math background. And so I ended up going to this company for about 11 years and ended up in technology for the past almost 22 years.
Which is not like a musical at all.
At all. But you know what the difference is when I was in theater, when I was doing all that, I was only able to see or create or do things that were already done. I never had the opportunity to go and, oh, there's a new play happening in Connecticut that's a tryout. There's a new one in Atlanta. I could never travel to see these because I was always working while these shows were happening. So the fun part of the last 20 years is that I've been able to go everywhere. I mean, I've gone to Puerto Rico to see Lin-Manuel do the charity raise of Hamilton.
Freaking way, dude.
I saw Hamilton the second night it was on Broadway.
Wow.
The last 10 years, I would say my husband and I have probably seen, I would say close to 1,000 shows in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Because we were literally going every night to everything. And it's like, it was fun. We were seeing, horrible shows, like flying to Chicago to see Devil Wears Prada that Elton John decided to do. And it was one of the worst things we've seen in our lives, but it was, it's fun.
Do you save things from when you go to the show? Like
my husband saves all the playbills, all the tickets. I'm not a saver. I've moved around too much in my life and lost too many things that I'm like, I'll take a picture of it and digitally upload it and have that memory. But yeah, I'm not a saver. I'm not a hoarder.
I'm kidding. I like that we went from saver to hoarder really quick.
To me, it's one and the same, man.
Scrapbook, hoarder. Dude, that's so cool. I can't believe you got to do all those fun things. That's awesome. I love that. So can I ask a random question? Kind of random.
No.
All the Madonna photos. Why Madonna? Why is that?
Madonna's from day one. Madonna and Michael Jackson were my two favorite performers. Madonna, because it was the first time that a woman was like, fuck you. I want to do what I want to do. And it was creative. It wasn't just in your face. I mean, we go back and think of like early Madonna up to like the music album. To me, all of that was so creative, so different, so fun. Choreography, like it was unabashedly in your face and gay as fuck. I mean, let's get real. When Vogue came out, I'll never forget that first time I heard Vogue. I was a junior in high school, 1990. And that song came out and I was like, oh my God, revolutionary. So yeah, she's I've never missed her in concert. I've seen her in every single concert tour she's done.
Wow.
Seeing her in about 2 months here in Atlanta for her last tour, her latest tour. Yeah, she's it.
Do you remember, like, my mom is a huge Madonna fan, and she used to make me, when I was little, watch a movie. I feel like it was like Seeking Susan or something.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yes, I remember. Okay, so I was a little girl watching this movie, and I remember thinking, like, she dresses so fucking cool. Like, I was like, I want to dress like Madonna, Mom.
Madonna and Rosanna Arquette. Rosanna Arquette was answering law ads for a woman desperately seeking Susan.
It was such. You know what? I need to go watch that movie because I remember it being like good. I think. She had like an awesome jacket in that fucking movie. Yeah. I wanted the jacket.
I'm trying to think, is it anywhere on my walls? No, she's not. Oh, she might be on there. I have quite a few pictures of Madonna in my office.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay, sorry. Thanks for entertaining me. And for the listeners, it's because behind him is just a bunch of pictures of Madonna. So I had to ask. I was like, what is it? What's about Madonna?
There's a lot more than you can actually see.
Whoa, there's a whole collage. I love that. Cool.
Every gay man's fantasy right there.
Madonna?
Yep.
Nice.
Gay men of a certain age. Because I will say this was a banner year for me. I just turned 50, which is
Wow.
what the heck? Like, how did that happen?
Right.
You're still a baby.
Yeah.
Hey, I got almost 10 years on you.
G-Rex.
Yeah. You'll need to like drop your skincare routine after because you do not look 50 at all.
Well, my husband, who is a few years younger, which we won't get into right now, and we've been together for it'll be 9 years now. It laughs because everybody always asks, "What the hell's your skincare routine?" And when I answer, it's Irish Spring soap, and that's
Oh,
it.
I knew you were going to say some of that. As soon as you started telling the story, I'm like, it's going to be like a bar of soap and like cold water or something.
and he's like 20,000, creams and lotions and potions and all this. And I was just, it's the Cuban blood.
Yeah.
Got lucky.
Genetics.
Got lucky.
What about you, G-Rex? What's your skincare routine?
Absolutely nothing. Okay. Absolutely nothing. I wash my face.
Okay.
But G-Rex, you look like you're 22. How is this possible? How?
And, what's crazy is I'm going to be 60 in the end of next month.
No way.
That's wild.
Oh, so then you're totally doing vampire blood. We know. Just tell us.
I'm out there playing with the squirrels, man. That's how I do it.
I don't want to know.
There's something up there in that upstate, New York world that she's doing.
Fresh air.
Yeah, it's called No Stress.
Ooh, that's what it's called. What are you drinking?
No Stress. Water.
No, not
Big
you. Not you,
water.
bro. I know. I see your smart water. Broadway
I had to
drink.
Yeah, I had to indulge today. So again, it's Pride Month. I'm gay as fuck. Sarah Jessica has a new line of Cosmos that are actually vodka.
Nice. Bizzle, if you would be so kind, I think there is a Cosmo in the fridge. Just kidding. You don't have to get it, babe. Nice. I was going to make a mixed drink. Instead, I opted for water like G-Rex because honestly, I totally forgot what time it was. And Bizzle was like, what are you doing? You need to get downstairs. I'm like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I was under the impression it was a cocktail with this.
Yeah, it normally is, to be honest.
Normally is. But, sabbatical life, I forget what day it is. I think today's Saturday. Well, it is Saturday because we record on Saturdays. But, I forget what day it is. So, Broadway, I do have another question for you. Growing up and being gay and everything, do you think that we were more or less fortunate than the kids are today because we didn't have all the media related around it, or
100%. I think of, I won't even go back to when we were teenagers or when we were like in that college era. Today, like I lived in Atlanta in 2006 to 2014. When I first moved to Atlanta had like 83 gay bars and clubs and restaurants and everything that was like a whole gay community. Cut to now where you have all these, social media apps, all these dating apps, all these hookup apps. There are maybe 10 places to go to meet people. And it's not even meeting people for dating reasons. It's just, community. It feels like there's none of that anymore. It feels like it's disappeared for me. Like I sit back and driving in the car, I'll have the satellite on and the 80s channel, the new wave channel comes on. And I'm like, God, I remember going to the bars when I was 16. I should have been going when I was 16, I know. But 16, 18 years old with some older friends and listening to this music, and it was community. It was hanging out and meeting people and, finding people that you had similar interests to. Now it's all like, okay, I see this picture. I kind of like this person. Let me meet them. And it's very different. You go to a bar now and people are literally, instead of talking to each other or, hanging out, they're literally looking at their phone at the hookup apps. And it's like, I don't get that culture. I don't understand that.
It's like they forgot how to interact with each other and like be present. It's so crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I miss too. I mean, growing up, in the 80s, in Denver, tons of gay bars, right? And now, I live just outside of Ithaca, which is a lot of gay people. It's like one of the hubs for upstate New York. And there aren't any gay bars there isn't a community. And I feel bad for them because that was part of my coming out story, right? Is that I had this core group of friends. We were all gay. We all came out around the same time, and we can always depend on each other. And I think that the social media aspect of everything now makes it harder to group together and band together, especially today. I mean, there's so much going on in the trans world that, me, Broadway, Dirty Skittles, there's so much more we could do. And if we could just get our community to get their shit together, we could really help, change what's going on, because right now it's terrifying. It's to the point now where they declared they declared a state of emergency for the LGBTQIA community because of all these stupid laws that are going into effect.
Yeah, it is disheartening seeing everything that's going on. I am a little hopeful in seeing all of these rulings that are coming out showing that they're unconstitutional. And I think, one of the things we have to do is really, my biggest fear when Trump was elected was the change in our Supreme Court. I don't care about anything else. I think that's one of the most important things in all the different judiciary levels that he would change. That scares me because that changes laws locally. So that's one of the things that I think not only do we have to be supportive and get out there and help our community, grow and go forward, but we also have to look at that voting policies and those voting records locally. We got to change shit. I mean, we've done this. You and I grew up in the era of AIDS, and look how that turned out. Mm-hmm. It changed our way of thinking and our way of kind of behaving compared to like some of our older gay friends that were in the 70s and 60s and things like that. But, the only way that we're going to do it is we have to do that change and we have to do that work. And I'm fearful and I'm hopeful at the same time. It's like I go back and forth every single day when I see things. And it's just, what can I do today? Support drag shows. That's my number one thing right now. If there's a drag show happening, if there's a drag bingo, if there's a charity thing, I'm going to it because I'm not going to let people say this is unconstitutional. This is something that shouldn't be happening or shouldn't be shown. I'm going to support that. And those are the small things that I can do and try to get my community to go there. So I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and for me, like I'm totally supporting Gleason, and because of all the work they do with the kids, there are kids that are coming out in schools today and that are getting bullied, and we didn't have that growing up. I know I didn't. Basically, my coming out story was I took my mom to a gay bar and I'm like, hey, I'm gay, and she's like, hey, I know, and we were done.
Were you ever like bullied in school as a kid, as in high school, anything because of your sexuality?
No. I played softball my entire, high school life. I had a good group of girlfriends, no bullying. I was who I was. I was a lot older than the kids in my class. So I could always buy them beer, right? And that, I was everybody's friend. I taught everybody how to drive, bought everybody beer, so I didn't feel those pressures. And my parents were amazing. Like I couldn't have asked for better parents. I didn't, they only wanted me to be safe. They wanted me to find love, and they wanted me to be happy. And they were, I was one of the lucky ones that I had that in my life. And today, a lot of these kids that are coming out, they don't have that. And so I'm really fighting for the kids, because they're our future.
I saw a total meme this morning that it got me. It was a picture of a little kid with kind of the gay pride flag as wings. And it was a parent with a set of scissors, and it was saying, don't be your kid's first bully.
Oh,
yeah. And I was like, wow, that really it made an impact to me. Cause it's like, I was again, fortunate to have parents similar to yours that were just like, be you, be happy, be safe. Don't be a dick. I had those parents. So I was very fortunate for that.
Yeah.
You did say something that makes me question, and I think Dirty Skittles is going to freak out when she understands this next topic. You were able to buy beer. Were you one of those that was grandfathered into being 18 years old and buying liquor?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Colorado. So the drinking laws were 18. And so I could buy beer. I couldn't buy wine, but I could buy beer. And I was everybody's best friend.
So they wouldn't let you buy wine, but they would let you buy beer?
Yeah, you could buy beer. And it was, okay, it was 3.2%. So it was probably...
Is it like a Bud Light?
Yeah, like a Bud Light.
Water?
Probably,
I don't know.
Yeah, it tasted like water with a little bit of hops in it. Yeah.
Oh, so you got shafted in Colorado because in Florida, if you were, I want to say 86, if you were 18 before 1986, you were grandfathered into the 21 and over law. So you can buy liquor.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, so you were like legal at 18 to buy liquor, everything like that, and you didn't have to wait till you were 21. I think it was 86.
Damn.
wow.
That's
I
nice.
totally missed out on that, but that's okay because I still made a lot of people happy. Made a lot of good parties.
That's all Gretchen wants to do is make people happy and drunk.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
Sort of drunk on that beer.
Depends on how
You had
many
to
you had.
drink a lot of them.
Yeah. And overcome the bloat. um wow, I mean, so that like listening to both of you having supportive parents is hopeful because I think Bizzle and I try really hard to just let our son feel safe. And, who knows he's only 5, right? But knowing that you guys both came from that and you were just totally confident and safe to share who you were with your parents and not be too afraid at what they would think is kind of what we are with him. Like, I mean, I love watching drag shows and, dude, we don't hide anything from my son, Nugget. I almost said his name.
Nugget.
Yeah, we don't
Nugget.
hide anything from Nugget. So I'm hoping when he gets old enough or at any point in his journey, if there's anything he wants to share about who he is, that he feels safe to share that with us and know that we're not going to judge him for it because it's a little wild, right? Like, it's just a right to love somebody. And so it's a little crazy that, we live in this day and age where it's still like an issue for people. Fucking blows my mind. Mind.
It keeps becoming an issue.
Yeah,
because it's a hot topic. It's the right that's doing this right now has a great marketing machine, and they just know how to plug at fear. And I think I think we as a society are fearful of so much crap that we don't understand or we don't make a point to understand. Mm. And it's I don't know. It's to me just get the fuck over yourselves, pretty much.
Yeah, like, why do you
just
care?
get over yourself?
Exactly. And it's not going to stop me. I'm going to be loud and proud every day.
Yeah.
I don't hide behind my gayness. I'm a lesbian through and through. And if you don't like me, I don't fucking care anymore. And I'll be 60 in a month.
Yeah.
Gretchen, you're a lesbian, Gretchen?
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
All this time. You never told me.
I thought you kind of like girls.
Oh, that's hilarious.
G-Rex and I have always had this loving, jokey relationship where I've always made fun of her. She makes fun of me too. And that's how we got along. I will never forget the time that I was telling you, you just got to get up here. I can't hear you. From down there, I just can't hear you. And you got up on a table, a little bit drunk, and were yelling at me on top of a table, and you were just my height. I don't know if you remember this. I want to say it was in Las Vegas at a convention of some sort.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I remember that.
Is this
me drunk? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't drink.
Oh my word. Is this the night that you were gambling all night? Is that the same year at this convention?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
There were so many of these conventions that they all blur.
Gotcha.
Every single one of them, a gigantic blur, unless I was winning money. And then those are the dates I remember.
That's so funny, dude.
But I also use Broadway for my my New York connection. So when we decided to go to Pride, I'm like, hey, where should we stay? Where can we see the parade? What can we do? Dude, he gave me like this long laundry list of like places to stay, things to do. So I'm super excited about it. And we actually got custom Pride shirts made for the Pride Parade and business cards that I'm going to hand out with the QR code on them. So hopefully it'll boost our listenership.
I love that.
That's so much fun. Handing out stuff at Pride parades is a blast. I did it here in Atlanta one year. Got to walk the parade and hand out stuff. It is so much fun. People just get like all happy. You start like meeting people. They start like looking you up on Instagram, on social media. So you start following each other. Of course, never talk again, but you follow each other for years. But it's so much fun. And New York Pride, same thing. It was when I was in New York, started the ERG for the company that I was working with. And we started having pride brunches with the pride parade as a thing. One year I had a group of team members that were very, I'm going to say, on the shy side. They were newer to New York. They were from California, a couple of them. So I bought these long rolls of like thousands and thousands of heart pride stickers. And I started like, okay, y'all are going to give these out. Y'all, the Southern thing just came out. Because I was born in the real South, Miami Beach. Blanche Devereaux and I started giving these out, and it's so interesting to see how people change and kind of come out. It's so weird for such an extrovert like me to be around introverts, because it's like, what do you mean you don't just talk to people or can do something or can, get in front of a stage of 10,000 people? What's wrong with you? So, like doing things like that, it was so much fun to see them come out of their shells and really like kind of gravitate and do things and enjoy kind of the group of people that they're around and, start opening themselves up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The greatest part about being short is like when I go to the parade, people are going to actually let me get in front so I can see the parade. Okay. So all you tall people behind me, I don't care, but I want to see the parade.
And you probably get a lot of swag because they think you're a kid.
They're like, oh, look at this sweet little child. Here you go.
She deserves a fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how many 10-year-olds have a size 44 triple D. So, yeah.
Well, if you watch that Natalia Grace controversy and documentary that's out right now, you might question that.
I need to watch out.
Sorry, I'm a total TV nerd. Everything new I've got to watch. Everything entertainment. I shouldn't say TV. Everything entertainment.
What are you watching now?
Just started Never Have I Ever, the final season today. Just started the current season of Yellowstone. Finished so many things, like Ted Lasso's done. All my Succession, which, oh my God, like one of the best shows in the world. What else did we finish recently? I've been watching a lot of stuff without my husband because he hates all these crazy documentaries like House of Hammer, the Army Hammer one, which was crazy. The Trash, Selling Sunset, Housewives, of course, Jersey,
Right.
Atlanta. I got to watch those.
Did you watch?
I don't sleep much.
Did you watch? Sorry.
So we just started watching Succession. We're in like season 2 now.
Oh, that show, so good.
I can't stop watching it. Like now that I'm not working, I could watch it all day.
But you know what? You kind of remind me of Roman. Kind of the same dialogue there between the two of you. Every other word is fuck. Every other word is sarcastic. Yeah, it's kind of you.
You know what? I have some morals though, so not really. What kind of? But I
notice,
morally.
Dirty Skittles. Notice how she said some morals.
Just some.
Some morals. Yeah. I'm with you on that bandwagon too, sister. Some morals.
Some morals, and I do have some integrity. And I'm not a complete asshole.
Oh man.
I can be. I'm kidding.
So, Skittles, you were going to ask Broadway a question.
It was random about a show. If you watched Vanderpump Rules,
I have never seen that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it either, but I was just telling Bizzle about how it's all over social media and like the reunion and all this drama. And I'm like, should I watch this? I don't know. Like, should I give it a shot?
There's some shows that might be too gay for me, if that makes sense. Like, to me, it's like this. I don't want to know the drama between Tom and whatever her name is and whatever her name is. I don't know. To me, it's so fabricated. To the point. I'd rather see I'd rather see like these crazy documentaries. Some of these documentaries, like I'm telling you, Natalia Grace, you got to watch it. It leaves you like finished doc. It's 6 episodes, six episode, and I'm like, what is the story even about? Who am I seeing? And then all of a sudden it ends, and you see the credits. She's doing the next documentary. Ooh. So it's going to be the documentary, the story from her point of view. Oh. So I'm like, if anything can be gayer, it's this. It's like this story of these parents who adopt this kid who supposedly is a kid, but no, actually is 22 years old, but may not be. Maybe. What? It's like this crazy story. Whoa. It's so out there.
I need to give it a shot.
I'm gonna have to watch that. So do you think, Broadway, like after you're done with your current career, that you might go back into the theater world?
So I would love to. I haven't done anything professionally in well over 10 years. I to do every so often a recording session or something like that here and there. I recently popped a vocal cord, which is really interesting, because I'm speaking and all of a sudden my voice just says this. So I become like, I turn into what's her name from The Exorcist. It just pops out, or by the end of the day, after a couple of meetings at work, my voice is just gone.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. The shower singing has been difficult lately. So who knows? Maybe if I retire in the next few years, I'll go back and become one of those 80-year-olds who wins an Oscar or Tony or something.
Do you want to move back to New York City?
So New York is not the New York so the pandemic destroyed us. It was tough over there. My husband and I moved in 2021 back to Georgia. Because it was just impossible living over there. We were also, an 800 square foot apartment, which is pretty big for New York standards, but both of us working at home for the same company. Wow. It was tough. It was just tough overall. So that's part of the reason we decided to come to Georgia. I can see us getting, buying property and having some sort of like rental property that we come up and stay a little bit and go, because it's tough to get hotels in New York and stay there. But as a full-timer, I can't see it in the near future. And by near, I mean like 10 years. Mm. It's not the New York that we were in and we were having fun in. It's a different world right now.
Yeah. Is there anywhere else you would go, or are you settled here?
I would move to London in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. I would move to Paris in a heartbeat. I will never go to Florida. In fact, my mom's the only one that's really left in my family. So my sibling, and I have some cousins and family. But once my mom passes, if Florida would just slide off the map and into the ocean,
I hear you. I'm good
with that. There's not many places in the U.S. that I would want to live in. It's just. I'm really about the culture. I'm really about the whole art scene. And outside of New York, there really isn't that anywhere in the United States. Georgia has some of it, which is fun. There's also so much to do here when it comes to hiking and festivals and things like that. And that's why I do like it here in Georgia. But I could see myself living in London in a heartbeat. Talk about another very gay city where there's a lot of theater and stuff like that to do. Because it's all about chasing that gay theater, that gay performance, that concerts and things like that. That's what I live for. I mean, that's my happy point. So I jokingly always say when the curtain goes down and the lights dim, that's my Sunday service. Like that's literally when it's coming up. Stephen Sondheim being my god, Audra McDonald being my goddess. Who, if you don't know her, please look her up. Biggest ally for our community. One of the most amazing singers. Had the pleasure of meeting her, and I've seen her in many things. Just amazing overall human.
I love that. So what's your next show that you're going to see?
So we are in the process of making plans to go to New York to see some shows that have just opened. Of course, the Britney Spears musical, because
I didn't even know they had one.
No, it's Britney Spears as told through all the princesses' eyes. So like Cinderella, all the princesses using Britney's music. It's called One More Time, something One More Time. Hit me again one more time or something like that. But it's like really cool. You should see some videos. Justin Guarini from American Idol stars in it, which is pretty interesting. But that I've got to get up and see the Sweeney Todd. We're recording on Tony Eve, which is one of the gayest days of the year. Tomorrow, Sunday, Tony's. So there's a lot of new theater that's coming in and things that are just different. There's a musical about corn. I kid you not, and it's one of the funniest things.
Not like the rock band right corn, like the vegetable.
No, like actual corn.
Got it.
Looking at theater and how theater has changed and how theater has evolved over the past 6 to 7 years, theater always is the leader of the change. So we talk about trans artists in theater. Alex Newell is up for a Tony tomorrow.
Very cool.
And the corn musical, which is kind of funny. It's literally called Shucked. I can't make it up, guys. But you talk about trans artists, and theater has always led the way. Gay plays, gay storylines, lesbian storylines. Theater has always led the way. There's a big musical about the artist Lempicka that's coming up, who's one of the biggest artists of the 20s Art Deco movement. And here it is, this lesbian storyline that's coming up. So all these stories are coming up, and again, Broadway always leads that way. inclusive bathrooms. Like every single Broadway theater has a sign that says use the bathroom you're most comfortable with, like shit like that. It's like that's where it starts. So it's always been, I don't know, it's kind of my nerd happy place, because it has all that, you know what I mean? It's using every faculty you can think of to like express yourself.
Very cool.
So it's my happy place.
Oh, I love that. I love that we get to know what your happy place is. Now I need like to make a list, or have you send me a list of things to watch and look at, because
there's a ton of stuff locally that I can send you that's also coming up. That's great. You know, we're lucky to have the Alliance Theater here in Atlanta, who every year has a pre-Broadway tryout of something that's going to Broadway.
Oh,
so some stuff makes it, some stuff doesn't, but it's fun to watch them and kind of see it, you know, from its infancy up to when it actually makes it to Broadway, and like, wow, that changed. And sometimes if you're lucky enough, you get to go to London and see it there, and it's like, oh wow, it changed for that audience. So it's just cool to see that metamorphosis.
Very cool. Yeah, for sure. I need to get a list together.
I love you so much, Broadway. Thank you so much for coming out.
Yes,
definitely.
I love your story.
Yeah. It was a blast, ladies. I enjoyed this. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Thank you. It's okay to be not okay. Just make sure you're talking to someone.